I'm here today to meet with Stuart Warburton of Snibston Heritage Trust, who's going to tell us a little bit more about the colliery.
You've stood on this incredibly important historic mine. It's now a scheduled ancient monument, and we're actually stood on number 1 pit top of Snibston number 2 colliery. These are the shafts that George Stephenson sank between 1833 and 1834. We've got 2 shafts. One was called Ryder, which is this one, and that was for the shaft that the men went down in. And then the second shaft, which is the one over there, and that was Smoky, and that was a furnace shaft. In the 1830s, it was common to put a fire at the bottom of a mine shaft to create a ventilation. So effectively, that shaft is an inverted chimney. So the air would come down this shaft, circulate around the mine, and then come up through that shaft. Stephenson always said that Snibston was the most profitable enterprise he ever undertook. And that means both of them, Snibston number 1 and Snibston number 2. He brought a lot of the miners to sink this pit down from the northeast because he had the expertise and the knowledge of sinking through difficult geology, which Snibston was. Then engine houses were built in the 1860s, and then by 1914, 1915, a 3rd shaft was sunk on the site to increase coal production for the war effort. The pit became a super pit in the 1960s and 1970s, turning 1 million tonne of coal a year, and by 1986, it had really come to the end of its life with Whitwick Colliery and closed as a coal mine and was bought by Leicestershire County Council for the Snibston Discovery Park project.
Thank you, Stuart. Last year I came to some open days here, which were brilliant. Do you have plans for any more?
Hopefully, yes. We are in the process of creating the Snibston Heritage Trust, which will be an organisation to work with the County Council to enable the public to come back onto the historic colliery site. We hope to have the lamp room area open to the public, maybe eventually the pit tops, but a lot of work needs to be done. And also special events, open days, maybe even bring the Miners' Gala back to Colville, who knows. So we've got a lot of plans in the coming years, but obviously it all takes planning, money and support from volunteers.
In 1898, 35 men descended the shaft number 5 of Whitwick Colliery for the last time. In the early hours of 19th of April, a gob fire broke out underground, trapping the 42 men working on the night shift. 35 of them lost their lives that night. And this photograph shows families watching the arrival of a horse-drawn hearse coming to take away the bodies. The youngest victim was John G, just 13 years old, a boy who drove the pit ponies. 12 of the bodies remain underground 2 miles away in Hugglescote, where they died. This garden and a plaque in Christchurch stand as a reminder of their sacrifice.